we have arrived to the third part of the presentation where I explain some possible solutions for the banana hack and this kind of replay attacks. The question is always how decentralized you want to have this thing. Because if you want a simple, quick and dirty solution, you can use different keys for the different signatures coming from the bridge. So you sign with one key for Polygon and you use another key for signing to Binance chain. That's an option. As an addition, you should also check if the receipt was meant to be sent for your wrapped smart contract. So you can either use the chain ID or any other unique ID. In case of Banano, they use the chain ID as a solution. If you want to see the exact code and have a look at the fix, you can check either their GitHub or you can check it also on the Blockchain Explorer. And if the two versions of the smart contract, the previous one and the new one, they were actually using proxy contracts. So if you are using a proxy smart contract, then you can upgrade or modify the implementation. The storage stays, but the implementation can be swapped. So that's what happened to the Banano, and that's what they did to solve the issue. But there is way more to think about, and there are other ways like XCMP or implementing your own solution for cross-chain or multi-chain transactions. Bridge is basically a quick and dirty solution if you want to implement coin and token sending from one blockchain to another, or do the wrapping, or do swaps, or create pools and these kind of things. But you can also use XCMP on XCMP enabled blockchains. Right now it is only Polkadot and Kusama which supports them, but basically this cross blockchain messaging protocol implements a way of communication where you can use specified coin. For example, in case if you are connected to the Polkadot relay chain, you can use the dots to send values from one chain to another one. To use it, it's way more complicated, I would say, than the dirty bridge solution, but this is the future and this is what's coming, and this is actually Web3 type, Web3 like solution, so you do not need a central single point of failure in the system. But you also need to know some Rust and use a different system. We really hope that XCM will be implemented in more projects in the future, so we won't be seeing silly bridge hacks in the Web2 ways. Additionally, what the Banano team was doing, of course, that they refilled the bridge. So they refilled it from, I think, from the developer or the community wallet. So now everything. And the next case in this presentation is the XC Infinity hack. I will explain you an overview of what happened and how this hack was more like a Web2 kind of attack and not a Web3 type of attack. And as you might have heard, 600 million worth of coins were stolen from the system. Today we already know more, and the attack is attributed to this Lazarus group from North Korea. So now we can surely know that really large players are interested in cryptocurrencies. In some ways it is good, in some ways hacks like this happen and will surely happen as more to come, specifically around bridges, and who knows what comes next. Might be the next cross-chain or multi-chain attacks, hopefully not XCM. So what was happening is they compromised the nodes on the Ronin validator bridges systems. Sorry, so they compromised the nodes through Web2 kind of hacking or red teaming, and then they compromised enough nodes so they can basically do a 51% attack. And it's already interesting how the system works if you have access to so many nodes and you compromise one entity, one company or one community, groups of people, whatever, and you get to do a 51% attack. If you compare it to Bitcoins and Ethereum and others, you would be really having a hard time to reach to the same point where you can take over the network and do this attack. It took them 6 days also to realize that something is really wrong, which is a long time, and I think they should have been monitoring this, especially if the system is so centralized. I see this as a really common problem, that people think that blockchain, web3, NFTs and these kind of things are not centralized, and this is a clear example where we say how decentralized they are, and more likely not decentralized, and how a single group can do basically whatever they want with the system. Now I'm not speaking just about the attacker, but the possibilities of those who who have this control. So in this case, we don't even need to speak so much about the details. There was a lot of investigation, and there are a lot of articles on how they try to make the ethers clean. They were using Tornado Cash and some other systems, spreading the funds around to different systems, but the point is the same. It was simple 51% attack with Web2 attacks in it. And what else happened? Another hack in the same Axie community, but this time they were not affecting the nodes or the system themselves, but they have been hacked through Discord with this MEE6 bot. Basically they were phished. Again, we can see the same Web2 kind of hack appearing in a Web3-ish environment, and what I can just say about this is that we are really far from being totally Web3, and we need to replace the old systems and remove those chains we have, and move to the new system. And we shouldn't advertise the project as like blockchain and decentralized and this kind of stuff when you have issues like that. And another said it's a Hungarian project. I know it for some reasons, and it's a quantum proof algo that is running behind. The consensus algo is really well written. The project's core is in Rust, but still what happened after they built a really stable and really strong core system, a Newtonian hacker came and hacked the quantum system with web2 type of attacks. What can be guessed from the messages and some community talk in Quan is that they were breached in a way that somehow the attacker accessed the private key, and the private key was a single key in this breach setup which they had, and it was introducing the single point of failure typical issue, and this key was used to take the funds from the system. They said we will receive more information regarding the hack and we will know what exactly happened. It just happened in in the last couple of days, so this pretty much fits into this presentation as an example on how not to do security, especially when you're building on a really cool base and core concept. So these are the final thoughts which I prepared for you. Basically, auditing and pen testing is in itself is not enough if you just do it in a specific part of your system. It's a really typical issue which you see in most of the projects, that they only request an audit for the smart contract. But now, if you followed this whole presentation, you have many ideas on how these parts outside of a smart contract can have logical issues and can introduce you problems in a system that get you totally wrecked. So what I recommend is to do a full-scale testing, and then after you are sure that everything has been secured, you don't have these silly issues like really replay attacks and 51% attacks. 51% attack, we know it since 2009, and that was specified in the Bitcoin white paper, and that this can be a problem, and that's part of the threat model of the whole thing. And we still see people not understanding the core concepts. So I really hope this presentation helped you to understand what web3 is trying to be and how security is flowed when you introduce web2 concepts to web3 systems. And hopefully projects who who look into these issues will be smarter in the future, and we will have less hacks, less negative hacks, because hacking is a good thing generally, but it shouldn't be abusive for sure, and should be consenting. If you have questions, if you want to reach out to me, then you can find me on Matrix. If you want your project audited, security audited, then you can send us a request on a crucial email address and we will contact you back as soon as we can. And if you want to join the CCTF community, which is the cryptocurrencies, the flag community, you can also do it in Matrix. And now, because this presentation was prepared for B-Sides Budapest, I'd like to also announce the CCTF challenge. Now, this time it is only one single challenge, but the winner from this challenge will have the possibility to join the next finals of CCTF. So now we planned a harder challenge. You have time until the end of this conference, and let's see who wins. Hope you learned, hope you will learn more during this conference, and thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and see you another time.